Hello and welcome to HisFlame's Home of Crafts. My name is Jen and this is my YouTube channel where I have started recording some basic knitting techniques and tutorials in order to help everyone on their knitting journeys. Today we are going to be covering how to complete a knit cast on in the middle of your work. So this is a technique designed to add stitches either to the start or front of start in front or the end. It's late in the day, I'm sorry guys. Either the beginning or end of the row of your work. They can be added in the middle of joining the front and backs of your work to add stitches under the underarm or wherever else it's indicated in your patterns. So the pattern will read something along the lines of knit to end of row using a knit cast on method, cast on 5 stitches, or at the start of your row using a knit cast on 5 stitches. So I will go over the basic anatomy of the project, then do a silent demonstration and talk you guys through it. So I still have my handy dandy little swatch here that I have been using. So in this case, we have our project, the project end of the yarn, and the working end of the yarn that is attached to your ball of yarn. I will do a quick demonstration and then I'll talk you through it both English and continental style. I'm not as smooth, but I will give it a shot. All right. So there was both styles of knitting with a knit cast on. Now I'll talk you through it. And this is if at the start of your row, you are casting on an additional X number of stitches. The only specifics for this is that for the first stitch, you're going to knit like you would normally knit a stitch. So through the front leg of the work, around, pull it through, and rather than dropping that stitch off the end, you're just going to bring your right hand needle around so that the tips line up and slip that stitch onto the end of your needle. Now don't pull these super tight. For the second cast on, you're going to go between that stitch and the last stitch of your work. So you're not going through that stitch, you're going inside both legs of that stitch. Wrap your yarn around the same way you would if you were knitting. Pull it through. Just tip your needle so that they're end to end and put that point over top of your needle. Now you don't want these pulled super tight. They don't need to be like yanked on or like really enforced. So again, just around, so through both legs or in between the two stitches. So 2 legs are on this side and the other stitch is on the other side of your needle where you're going through. Loop it around, pull it through, and put the needle or the stitch up onto your needle. With your yarn in the other hand, between the two stitches, around, and up onto the end of your work. And then you just knit across, same way that you would normally. Sorry, a little yarn juggling there. So the only thing that I might recommend for these ones, as you're knitting across, you have the stitches that you cast on, but when you get to that first stitch of your project, you kind of see how it's a little bit stretched out. And what you can do with that one is just knit it through the back loop, and it will create a twisted stitch, but it'll just tighten that stitch up a little bit, and it won't be as obvious where you put that knit cast on at the start. And then I'll just knit across. So this end of the project is a little bit different, so I'll talk you through it again, sorry. So put your needle through the same direction like you would normally knit this stitch. Tighten it up a little bit. Pull the stitch around. And then slip it over the tip of that needle and tighten it down just a little bit. And then for subsequent stitches, you're going to do the same, and you're going between the stitch that you've just cast on and the last stitch of your project. Around and through. And you want your working end to be towards the front of your needle when you loop it over. One more time. In between the two ends, wrap your yarn around. Pull it through and place it on the end of your needle. And then you would either work them in the same direction as you came around if you were working in the round, or turn your work and work through the back side. So on this end of your work, I personally do prefer a backwards loop cast on. I just find it's a little bit easier to do. I do prefer the knit and the knit cast on for the start if you're adding stitches at the start of your work. Again, it's just personal preference. I have uploaded a tutorial as well for the backwards loop cast on. Feel free to check it out if you'd like. If there are any other tutorials that you would like to see, feel free to leave me a comment in the notes down below and I will check it out. You can also find links to my Instagram there. And I also do stream on Twitch about once a week. It's just a little live stream. I hang out and chat, knit, visit with the people that pop into chat, and we just hang out and generally have a good time. If you want to follow me over on Instagram, I do post there when I'm going live on Twitch, or you can join my Discord, which is linked. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate. Leave a comment down in the comments down below, and I will get back to you. Thank you for your support. Have a great day.